This table behind me has become a catch-all for anything and everything that I don't have a designated spot for. And I don't like the way it looks, and I don't like the way it makes me feel. So I'm replacing this table, and after much thought and deliberation, I'm replacing it with a new wire shelving unit. It's the same unit that I have 3 of in the back. I just don't have any more room back there. So I'm gonna get this table moved out and get the new shelf brought in. And today's video is just gonna be an unboxing and installation of my new wire shelving unit. If you guys are looking for something like this for your own business, I will have an Amazon link to this exact item in the description of this video, and it will also be an affiliate link. So if you buy the shelf through the link, I'll get a little commission. So thank you for your support, hopefully. And let's just go ahead and get into it. At the time of making this video, the price of this shelf on Amazon was $51.39, which in my opinion is a really good deal for this style of shelf. So it turns out this table would make a great place to unbox the shelf. So I'm gonna use this table one last time and then it is out of here. So in your box, you're going to have 4 shelves. I think there is like a 5-shelf version, but I just got the 4 ones. So it's gonna be 4 of these bad mama jammas. Gonna get a bag of these shelf holders. They're like little black clampy things. Save these, you're definitely gonna need them. You're gonna get a bag of 4 caster wheels. I actually don't use these because I don't need to roll my shelves around. So I do save these because I feel like they're worth some money, maybe. But I don't actually install them on my shelf. It's totally optional. You're also going to get 4 packs of these poles. Each pole will screw together to give you 4 long poles. Also, when you get the shelves, they're going to have these little black cover things on the holes. I'm not really sure what they do. I think maybe it's just protection during shipment, maybe, because these edges may be sharp or something. But they just fall off on their own and you can just throw them away. The first step you're going to need to do is to screw the poles together. You'll notice that some of them have this little black thing on the end, and that's going to be the bottom. The feet are adjustable, so if your floor is slightly uneven, these things will screw in or out to make sure your shelf is level. As you can see, one end is a female thread and the other, or this is, one end's a female and the other is a male. And you just screw them together. When you're done with that, you should have 4 poles where the black foot is on one side and the top little cap thing is on the other side. And you just need to open up the bag with the spacers. This is the instructions, don't need those. It comes with this little bag thing, it comes with a wire that you could like screw it into the wall and hook the back of the shelf to it, and it just keeps it anchored to the wall so the shelf won't fall forward. I personally don't use these, probably should. I just don't really see a point in it. Maybe if you have the 5-tier shelf, it might be more of a tipping hazard. If you want to use this, you can. I personally don't. So this is what this pack of little spacers looks like. There's 4 in each pack. They look like this. Okay, there's 2 black ones, just like this. And what they do is they clamp together around the pole, just like that. And they give your shelf something to sit on. So it'll look like this when it's on there. And you also notice that it says top. Just make sure this top is pointed up on the shelf whenever you install it. These are a little bit tapered. It's a little bit thicker on the bottom than it is up top. So when the shelf goes on top of it, it stops and kind of holds traction a little bit. So just make sure you install these with the top facing up. For the first one, all you have to do is install it on each of these at equal intervals. So these poles have little, I don't even see that. These poles have little lines in them. So you can count the number of lines and make sure you're installing these at equal intervals. For the bottom shelf, you really just want the rack to be slightly off the floor in case of a flood or something. So I'd probably install these about maybe 2 lines above where the, and they will click into place like that. Do you hear the click? This is what it looks like when it's installed. It clicks around and you'll hear it, and also won't move anymore. You can see it is 2 lines. So there's like 3 sections of piping, but 2 lines. So just make sure that when you install this first safety guard thing, that it's equal on all 4 poles. See all 4 of them installed, all of them are at equal intervals. And the trickiest part is just counting each pole to make sure the rest of the spacers are done. Since you have 4 shelves, you'll have 4 sets of these spacers to install. So if you install one incorrectly, you're gonna have one of your shelves that are lopsided, and you just don't want that. When you're installing the shelves, you'll see that one side is like kind of flat and the other side has these little extendies. This is the bottom. So you want to install it where the extendy things are pointing down. Take the first pole, shove it through the hole. And it goes on like so. The hammer's not necessary, I just like to do it to make sure they're very, very secure. So the next step you're gonna wanna do is to get one of your bins. Whatever size bin you use, you just need to have one. So you put it here so you can know exactly how much space you need to leave in between the bottom and the second shelf. So for me, I'm gonna use this bin on this shelf, so I know the next shelf should be about, right here. And then you do this measurement again on the next shelf going up. You just want to get your spacing correct on the first time, because if you have to take these apart and re-space them later, it's kind of a pain. So just use a bin for measurement and make sure you do it correctly the first time. Because if you have to take these apart and re-space them later, it's kind of a pain. Whoops. To make sure you have the correct spacing, you can also go back and count the lines in the pole, because each pole is identical. You can't just look at the bin and tell that it's level. You can, like I said, just go back and count the rings, make sure you're even on all 4 poles. Ow. I pinched my finger. This one should be make sure our bin still slides in. Perfect. So I'll turn the camera up a little bit so you can actually see that next one. Perfect. Take it down to the last one. There we go. So here we have the completely assembled shelf. You can see it's about, I guess, 4.5 feet tall, maybe something like that. And it's room enough to store 8 bins for me. I use these blue bins. I don't know how big they are. They're just normal size bins. But again, you can kind of adjust this to fit whatever bins you need. As far as depth, they are roughly 14 inches deep. So like over here on my shelves, like you can see my bins kind of stick out a little bit, but I mean, they're pushed up against a wall, so it doesn't really matter. I'm so sorry for this huge mess. I'm getting it cleaned up today, I promise. So yeah, it's not too hard to assemble once you've done it one time. I wish I had a video showing me how to do it the first time I did it, but it's not that bad. So now we will put it over here, see how it looks in this new home. So I went back to the guide here just to get some weight measurements for you guys. And the way we're using the shelf, just the leveling feet without anything else, it can support up to 1,400 pounds. So I think that's really good. I don't think I could fit 1,400 pounds worth of inventory on there. So I'm pretty confident in that. I do know my electrical panel is behind this. If I have to get back there, I'll just move the shelf. I'm not ignorant of that. I just don't feel like I don't think it's that big of a deal. So, but that's what it looks like all put together, and I don't think it was too hard. So I'm really excited about it. I'm gonna start filling up some of these bins, putting them on here and getting them off the floor. If you have any questions about the shelf, any questions in general, drop them down in the comments below and I'll be happy to answer them if I can. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. You're the best, and I'll see you guys on the next one.